Most reviews on Septifix tell you what it's supposed to do. I wanted to know what it actually does, so I put it through the matrix, broke down the mechanism, checked the ingredients, looked at what real users are reporting. This is the review matrix. Here's what I found. Here's what's actually going on with septic maintenance. Most people dealing with it aren't failing because they haven't tried. They're failing because the things they've tried only address surface odor and minor clogs, not the real reason the system keeps backing up. That quiet, exhausting frustration of doing everything right, buying the generic hardware store enzymes, and still lying awake worrying about an incredibly expensive drain field failure, that's the gap Septifix is designed for. When I broke down how Septifix actually works, it targets the oxygen levels of your tank's wastewater directly, not just adding passive bacteria. That's the distinction that matters. Most alternatives work at the surface level, introducing anaerobic or weak bacteria that quickly die off in a low-oxygen, acidic environment. This goes a layer deeper, releasing up to 10 liters of oxygen per tablet to neutralize pH and build an environment where waste-eating aerobic bacteria can actually thrive. More targeted, less guesswork. Running through the key components, sodium carbonate and oxygen release, this is the one that stood out most because it directly addresses acidic corrosion and low oxygen. By releasing oxygen bubbles, it actively disperses the treatment throughout the entire volume of the tank rather than letting it sit uselessly on top. 14 strains of aerobic bacteria. At over 10 billion bacteria strains per gram, I hadn't seen a count formulated this densely in this category before. It's designed to aggressively digest stubborn organic sludge, grease, and toilet paper. pH neutralizing buffers. Easy to overlook, but it's what makes the other two actually compound instead of cancel each other out. It stabilizes the wastewater so the newly introduced bacteria don't immediately die from chemical shock. Based on the breakdown and what consistent users are reporting, early on, usually within 3 to 5 days, most people notice the immediate elimination of foul sulfur odors. That tends to build into a visible reduction in standing water or backup issues within the first week or two. And longer term, the deeper change the ICP secretly wants, a drastically reduced sludge layer meaning fewer emergency pump outs and a safe drain field. Not a straight line, but a clear direction. That's what the pattern shows. The protocol is simple. Just flush 3 starter tablets down the toilet for the first month, followed by 1 tablet monthly to keep the bacterial colonies alive. Fits into a monthly home maintenance routine without friction. The timeline most people report meaningful structural results is within 2 to 3 months of consistent use. Not a disclaimer, just how cumulative biological mechanisms work. The first week is laying the foundation. The compounding digestion of solids kicks in after that. One variable I always factor in, refund policy. Septifix comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. I treat that as a confidence metric. Companies don't offer real return windows on products they know underdeliver. That's a relevant input. If the mechanism checks out for your situation and the problem I described is where you actually are, the link to the official page is in the description. Direct link, no resellers, no markup. Today, they have an 18-month package deal that brings the cost down to under $9 a month. Go through it, cross-check what I've covered, and run your own matrix. You've got everything you need to decide. If you've already run your own test on Septifix, I genuinely want to hear what you found. Drop it in the comments. The more data points, the clearer the picture gets for everyone.